One is at the end of the row, 122. This one said it did sell. I already know what this is. You can identify this from the grill. This is a Chrysler Windsor in 1956. I had to look at the paper on the windshield for the year, but I recognize that grill as a Windsor. The Windsor was the bottom of the line in the Chrysler brand products. You started out with a Windsor, then you move up to a Saratoga, and from a Saratoga you go to a Newport. From a Newport you would hit the top of the line, which would be the New Yorker, and then from there it'd be straight sailing into getting an Imperial. But the sales on these ones was pretty slow, so they relegated this and the Saratoga. Well, they canceled the Saratoga, and this would become what you would get in Canada. You start off with the Windsor, and then you would upgrade to a Newport. That would be the top of the line. You probably could get the Saratoga in Canada too, but I talked to a guy who said you can get a New Yorker, but by the time he got the car, he didn't know if the car had been sold there originally, or the guy had come to America to buy the car, or other way around, an American went to Canada and sold the car. But my interpretation that you couldn't get the New Yorker in Canada because the price structure was out of their league at the time. So you would give them the entry level, the Windsor, and then the top of the line would be a Newport, and then they have to work their way up from the Dodge and the Chrysler. But this is a very beautiful car. This is one of Exner's beauties. And like I was saying to the guy I was talking to yesterday, I believe Exner was an elitist, a classist. You know, he was a snob, a snooty type. Because he could design these Chryslers and Imperials to be such beautiful cars, and then he would get down to the Plymouths and he would act like he didn't care. So I'm pretty sure he didn't care, and he didn't design the Plymouths, and probably not the Dodges either. He would design these Chryslers and these Imperials, and then other people in Chrysler would just take his design and make it more mundane so it would appeal to the typical Plymouth buyer. It's just funny because this outside, see the window opens up from the outside, not within the groove, but it's on top of the track. And then I'm assuming this is ventilation. So as you travel down the road, air comes and would go to this little port right here to cool the car if you had opted for the car without air conditioning. Muzzle. And they pretty much all had the same tail lights. And well, see, it says Newport. Is it a Newport or a Windsor? I'm thinking it was a Windsor. Could be a Newport. I don't know. I wasn't alive at the time to actually see these things firsthand. All I know is what you see in photographs. Yeah, maybe it is a Newport. It says Newport right there. So, Newport. But then again, this says Windsor. But then it says Windsor Newport 4-door hardtop. Spitfire V8, 225 horsepower. 3-speed automatic. I thought the Windsor and the Newport were two different cars. But then again, like I said, I wasn't there at the time, and protected by the William J. Burns International Detective Agency. I mean, you gotta leave, bro. Let's see. Yeah, so the tag says Windsor, the car says Newport. You tell me.